that. And the Folsom release will be released a bit later this year. Actually, it should be now Folsom release. So, yeah, and that's improving over time. So that will be more production very soon. There's other options as well, obviously. CloudStack would be an obvious alternative to OpenStack, but that's owned by Citrix. So, moving on a little bit, how do you move into not just capacity management, but how do we move into optimization of delivery and end user experience? In the past, essentially, applications and the network don't talk to each other. Yeah, we put what we've done in networking is put some fancy tools on top of the network to do sort of wide area optimization of protocol transactions between endpoints. But what we're actually doing now is exposing the network to applications via an API. And that standardized API is actually called Application Layer Transport Optimization in the IETF. As a standard RESTful interface with JSON containers, so you can have multiple children. So essentially, the idea is we can start asking the network about where the best place is to download content from, or place a workload, if you're thinking about infrastructure as a service. Yeah? So if you take an example, if you have a peer-to-peer application, in the past, the developer would have to build capability in that application to work out things like round trip times, latency, that kind of thing, availability of links, but also write algorithms to see how busy the other endpoint is, can serve the content, etc., etc. The network has a lot of that information already built in. It has geo-proximity information, it knows about round trip times, it knows about delay, loss, etc., etc. So what we can actually do, in this case, the application can call the network and say, hey, I want to download some content, and I can get it from IP address 1, 2, 3. Which one's the best? There's been more studies around this, and what they found is that typically in the old days, with peer-to-peer applications, at least 70% of the time, you would go outside what we call your autonomous system. Okay, so autonomous system is a region of internet space that an ISP, internet service provider, will manage themselves, right? It's broadly defined by something called Border Gateway Protocol, BGP. But that costs money, because now you have to send traffic over a transit network to another autonomous system and back and all the rest of it. So the idea is the network can actually say, you know what, you should download it from B, then C, then A. That's about order preference. So in effect, this protocol becomes, this API, becomes like an oracle from the network standpoint. And it's a win-win, because we can actually derive a lot more interesting things out of this. So one thing I want to talk about is something called demand engineering. Okay? So this is not network design, this is not capacity planning, this is not traffic engineering, but a step beyond that called demand engineering. Okay. And the idea here is, this will just give you a simple idea, this is a workload placement decision making. So is there capacity, not just from a typical compute perspective in terms of memory, CPU and so forth, but do I have enough capacity for I/O from the network as well? So if I place a workload in one location, and I need that workload to have guaranteed bandwidth to multiple other locations, if I can do real-time modeling of the network, I can actually make very good placement decisions and path computations based on worst-case utilization of those links and paths. So I can actually build not into my computation model, not just the utilization, real-time utilization of links and boxes all the way through the network, but I can actually do simulation scenarios of where, if I have links, groups of links or boxes actually failing, what then, if then. So actually, from a provider point of view, you can then tell an application, say, an orchestration engine, to actually deploy a workload at a given location that will maximize that you can reach your SLA guarantees, effectively. So it's all about risk mitigation. So, take that through step by step. So, say we have a workload working in London data center, we need additional capability. We can check the network via that API, I showed you on the previous slide, to say, okay, what do you have? And the network can respond with suggestions of which data centers to place the workload into. And you can combine that with lots of other information by maybe sort of technical metadata or administrative metadata to make a decision. Okay, so you need some sort of decision engine okay, or what we call service request engine, to make it, to balance out all the weighted values effectively. And then finally, we will provision that network and allow you to move that workload to a data center. Okay? So it's a fairly straightforward thing, but it's a very powerful concept because this helps win-win for the operators about optimizing delivery of services, but from an application guide, it's all about the quality of that end user experience. And this is really important, particularly in the mobile world, where devices could be connected to Wi-Fi, to the LTE network, or whatever it may be. And that helps us win the world of many clouds. So what we're seeing today is, I explained to you before, Comic Relief, government as well. Everyone's thinking about how they can build communities of interest, the clouds that support those, not just from an infrastructure point of view, but the software perspective as well, and how they can maximise resource sharing amongst those interested parties. And Cisco, we think the networks are really, really important in that because effectively the network's pervasive. It can see as it removes changes all those endpoints, and it's a really great place to implement a policy from an end-to-end perspective, from an infrastructure perspective. So anyway, further reading, I've got a number of links here for you. So one PK, one platform kit is an abstracted API that is being built across all of our Cisco devices. Okay, so if you want to interface with a programmatic API, there we are. Open networking environments is Cisco's sort of strategy around software-defined networking, if you want to read that. There's a developer website, so a lot of our platforms and so forth, if you want to understand how you can build an application that can leverage Cisco infrastructure, maybe unified communications or just pure networking or security or something like that. That's a good place to go. Talks about network